Hey guys, welcome to True Showmance. This is Clevver's official after show. And I don't know about you guys, but we have been binge watching 13 Reasons Why Season 2 on Netflix for days now. And if you've clicked this video, you know we're going to be talking about the epic season finale that shocked all of us here. So welcome to the show. And I also want to welcome two of my favorites of all time, Renee and Sinead.
Hey guys.
Hello. Okay, but before we get started, we just want to let you guys know that we are fans of the show, just like you. We are in no way mental health professionals, and we will be discussing some really sensitive content from 13 Reasons Why, as well as content that can be triggering. So if you feel uncomfortable at any point, we have so many more 13 Reasons Why videos for you guys to click on. And also, if you or anyone you know needs help, we encourage you to follow this number right here on the screen.
Also, I'm here to let you know that there are going to be a lot of spoilers in this video, so consider this your official spoiler alert.
Okay, now that we got all the housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into this crazy season 2 finale, and we're also going to be talking about what it means for a possible season 3 if it happens. So a lot of characters were involved in this finale. Some storylines were wrapped up, some were to be continued. One that I felt like was really epic was Justin's season finale storyline. You know, he was adopted by Clay's parents, then he relapsed, then he had a moment with Bryce at the end. How do you feel like his storyline wrapped up for you guys?
I mean, for me, I felt like he had gotten so far by the time the finale had come around. He was one of those characters that I really felt like had one of the biggest arcs, you know, out of everybody. And by the time the finale came, we had seen him kind of go through hell and come out of it, you know? And it's just kind of amazing to see where he ended up. I was so devastated to discover that he had relapsed, you know, after all of that, and after being adopted, and after getting a third, fourth, fifth chance, you know, and he seemed like he was on the right track. So that to me was very hard. I was like, are you kidding? I was so disappointed, but I'm also curious to see that if we do get a season 3, how, you know, once Jess does find out about this, obviously we know that they reunited, but once she finds out about this, how is this going to affect him? You know, maybe he really does need all the help, and that's okay, but I'm really curious to see how that affects their relationship.
Yeah, me too. I was heartbroken when I saw that he relapsed, because honestly, it seemed like out of many of the characters, he was going to get a happy ending.
Yeah.
He was adopted, and I know a lot of you probably agree with me in the sense where I didn't love him season 1, but this season I really started to like him, and I was so happy for him. And then when I saw he went back to drugs, it just really made me sad, but also line us up for the next season if it happens.
And I was also going to say too, I mean, I feel like that's real life in a lot of ways. I feel like, you know, I love that Clay was trying to rehabilitate him in his bedroom, but when you are doing something like heroin, I feel like that is a drug that needs professional help.
Yeah.
And I feel like we may see him in season 3 getting the professional help that he needs. And it really mimics true life. I feel like a lot of people relapse. I think getting off of drugs is a lot harder than a lot of us expect, a lot harder than Clay expected during this season. So I think that we'll see him get a lot more help as the season goes along. Well, speaking of Justin, I also want to go on to Justin and Bryce's storyline, because, you know, these two boys grew up together. They were best friends. Do you like how they resolved their relationship in that final episode?
No, to be honest, when I saw their conversation, it made me so uncomfortable. Probably the same way it made Justin uncomfortable. I do love that Clay kind of played big brother and came by him and he's like, are you okay? Because Bryce is the worst. Like, can we just talk about that for a second? Like, he's the worst.
I know.
So I am happy that they're no longer friends, but that scene of them, like, just having that mini conversation just gave me goosebumps.
See, I kind of had the opposite reaction to that. I actually really loved their interaction, because I felt like it showed that even though they had been best friends forever, you know, and that they have this very brotherly bond, it's not just a friendship, and they had that amazing, like, flashback of the two of them as kids, which just like pulled on every heartstring in my body. So it was like, I felt like it showed that Justin had been let down by his friend in the way that not only had he been let down personally, but he had seen the way he had treated other people who have been there for him more than his own best friend have been. And then to see them be so hurt by Bryce kind of allowed Justin to step away, and it was actually a very valuable teaching moment. As crazy as that sounds, it was kind of like, you can be friends with somebody for forever. You can trust one person, but if that person is doing things that don't reflect your own values, like it's okay to see a friendship come to an end. And it wasn't in a violent way, it wasn't in an aggressive way. They didn't fight it out. They were literally like, yeah, I'm transferring, great. Like, power to you. So I thought it was kind of amazing.
But do you think, though, that Bryce has been phased out officially, or do you think that we may see him in season 3? Because it felt like in that finale that it was like, okay, we're just tying up Bryce's loose ends. He's going to a different school. But do you think he might still be in contact with Justin?
I don't know.
I think he could come back.
Yeah.
I for sure think Bryce could come back, and maybe not be as prevalent as he is, or he has been these past 2 seasons, but he is quite the villain on this show, and I can't imagine him just completely being off of it.
Well, you know what I just thought of too? There's a moment where he tells Zach, like, I'll see you on the field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the time that he is transferring would not allow him to have graduated with everybody else, so he has to go like back, I think, because he was on probation or like during the trial. But he did say to Zach, hey, I'm doing this or this and this, so I guess I'll see you on the field. And that did strike me right then, because I was like, interesting. And I love Zach, you know.
Oh,
same.
Yes.
Who doesn't?
So going back to Justin for just a moment, there was a final storyline for him that we cannot miss. He and Jessica reunited in the locker room after the party or during the party. And that was really shocking to me, because I really felt like Jessica and Alex were really going to make it work together. They'd been through so much. They were friends first. Of course, Alex's attempted suicide. I think they've been through so much together. I was fully expecting them to end the season together, and then she just went into the locker room and did the dirty, and I was so shocked by this. I know that she and Justin had this tension, this sexual tension all season long. But it really broke my heart. I really feel bad for Alex, and I feel like that doesn't set him up well for season 3.
No, it doesn't at all, and I completely agree with that, because I felt like for him as well, he was another person that really had a lot of redeeming moments throughout the season, and he worked really, really hard to get to a place that he was comfortable with, and this was kind of like, for him, another moment where he was like, I'm comfortable with myself, I can finally open myself up to somebody else. And for Jess, too, on the other hand, when Jess finally is able to give herself to Justin in a very vulnerable way, that also showed that she had not only forgiven what had happened to her, not in a sense where she's forgotten it, but she was finally comfortable, not scared anymore, because there were a couple moments throughout the season where she was haunted by what had happened with Bryce. And this time I felt like I saw it, and there was a confidence that was back, and I kind of loved that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, I get where you're going with that. I will say, I feel bad for Alex, but I never felt like Alex and Jess had that chemistry.
Yeah.
I think before we knew what had happened, we really liked Justin and Jess together. And seeing how she had been hanging on to him, hanging on to the postcard, and the way Nina saw her looking at him throughout the season, it felt like we were just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Also, they played that new Selena song back too, which I was a big fan of.
I know.
I really love the way
But
they
I
use
still
that.
hope Alex gets, a girl too, because he deserves it.
He deserves it. Okay, I want to go back to Jess for a second, because there's a scene in the finale that really rocked me but didn't get a lot of screen time. And it was that moment where Jess and Chloe were in the bathroom, and Chloe revealed to Jess that she was in fact pregnant. Now that's the other reason why I feel like we're going to see more of Bryce in season 3, because that dynamic has to play out, right?
Right.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. But then immediately, I was so mad when Chloe went up on the stand, and I could only imagine what she was going through. But it made sense to me once they had that moment, because it had to have been because she found out she was pregnant. And all of a sudden, that I figured that out, which was really nice, I think, for viewers, because you really thought she was going to do the right thing in that moment and help the case, and we thought we were going to get our happy ending with the trial, and now I empathize with her more, because what do you do in that situation?
Yeah, and I feel like this also allows Jess to also do the right thing. As upset as she is with Chloe, I do think we are going to see a friendship, if there is a season 3, a friendship blossom between Chloe and Jess, because I feel like Jess will be there for Chloe. I really do.
That's a really, really good point. Well, I mean, the final moment of this episode really kind of made me mad, because I feel like I wanted a little more resolution, and it was that moment at the end where Tyler comes to the school with his weapon, and he is ready to march into this party and do damage, and Clay subverts all of this, which is really brave of him, by the way. I was so proud of him in that moment, because Clay has been an investigator this entire season, and finally he had a chance to really be like the hero that he wanted to be. But you know, Tony comes up with his car, and Tyler hops in and they drive away. I had this feeling that Clay was not going to out Tyler, that the police were going to show up and Clay's going to get caught holding this gun, and he wasn't going to say, yes, Tyler was the one who had this, and it just didn't make sense to me why it would end like this.
I felt the same way. I was very confused why Tony just drove off with him, because I get, like, you care about this person, but he was going to do something very bad. And I feel like they better be driving him to the authorities. I'm sorry, but when someone is mentally unstable like that, or emotionally unstable, and they're capable of doing something like that, you also need to take action.
But don't you think that Tony empathized with him on a criminal level?
But different. Tony didn't kill people.
I mean, I can see that, absolutely. Like, Tony understands the importance of giving somebody else a second chance. You know, Hannah gave him a second chance by keeping his secret with his assault, so maybe he felt like he wanted to do the same for Tyler. But I totally get what you're saying, because this is a different situation. But at the same time, I believe when Clay told Tyler, like, I don't want you to die. Like, I believed him saying that. I also felt like Clay thinks that Tyler deserves a second chance at happiness, and he is not going to get that by being taken to jail. And like, his entire thing is like, he's being ostracized and he's being bullied and he's an outcast. This is the type of thing that would make you the world's biggest outcast in your own community, because how you're bullied by your own friends and peers and, you know, schoolmates, then you're bullied by the entire city.
I totally see where you're coming from, and watching Tyler get bullied throughout this season hurt me.
Especially in that finale episode. It almost felt so unnecessary, the visuals that were shown. But go ahead, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but yes.
it's okay. But it's like, at the same time, as much as I feel so bad for him and I can't imagine going through anything like that, it's like, what do you do in this situation? Because he was going to do severe damage. It's not just an assault we're talking about. We're talking about killing kids in a school at a dance. It's a whole other story. And so I don't know what the right thing to do is here. I know they empathize with him, but at the same time, that is murder.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? I feel like, if anything, Tyler needs a little bit of love and compassion and support right now. And so hopefully that is where the show would go if it goes to a season 3. You know?
Okay. Well, speaking of season 3, I just have a couple of quick questions for you guys both about season 3. Who do you think is going to be the villain?
It's going to be Montgomery or whatever.
Monty.
Yeah. You're thinking Pretty Little Liars.
No, isn't his name Montgomery?
Monty.
It is. It's Montgomery.
Is it Monty? It's Monty
yeah,
Montgomery.
it's like Montgomery or something like that.
Oh,
but
and
we
they
just
call
know
him
him as
Monty?
like Monty.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't like him, so I refuse to call him by his nickname. I will call him by his full name. Absolutely has to be him. And I think that he'll be an even worse villain than Bryce.
Clearly.
Because he has nothing to lose. I mean, we saw it in that, second to last episode when they were trying to get the Polaroids. He said it himself. He has nothing to lose.
Yeah, at least Bryce had stakes.
Yeah,
you know?
Bryce wanted to do things, secretly. Like, Monty doesn't care. So he's way worse, and I'm very scared to know what he is capable of.
Yeah.
Because from what we've gotten already, it's a lot.
Yeah.
What do you hope to see in season 3? Are there any relationships that you really are rooting for?
I want to see Clay meet a girl who makes him happy when he's over Hannah, and I want to see him just like in a happy, cute relationship on camera.
Do you think it couldn't be Sky?
I don't know. Okay, I know a lot of fans were actually talking about just there was a lack of chemistry at least shown on screen. I didn't fall in love with their romance, so I would love to see him with someone that the fans are as obsessed with their relationship as we are with like Clay and Zach.
I feel like for me, season 3, how season 3 could be amazing would be now that we have introduced every type of controversial issue, or now it's like show a little bit of what goes into like the healing process. Tyler left and then he came back a month later and we saw that he was a kind of a different person. Obviously that went backwards by the end of it, but I want to see a little bit of what it takes to heal, and because I feel like there is power in that for the people who are watching. There are a lot of things that happen in the show that I can personally relate to, and I know that there are tons of people out there that feel the exact same way as I do, including my co-hosts and my peers. So just take a little bit of time to like show what goes into the healing process too. Like we know these issues now in terms of 13 Reasons Why, so let's flip it on its head a little bit and do some good.
Let's see some redemption. I really want to see some
hope
and some redemption in season 3 if it happens, but it seems like it probably will happen out there, you guys. So let us know in the comments how this season finale rocked your world. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Also, do you have any awesome predictions for season 3? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks to my host for joining me for this awesome chat. You guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you back here next time.
Now, before you go, you guys are going to want to click right over here because we have a full rundown and recap of all the best Easter eggs from 13 Reasons Why Season 2. So come on, click it. Like, I'm serious. Like, right now. Do it.